Well, thank you all for coming to the parent meeting. We wanted to get some information out to you as soon as we could about particularly fees and what that structure is going to look like. We didn't have that answer at the marching band step-off meeting, but we do now. And our fireworks booth, which is going to be ramping up towards the end of this month. So just sharing what the expectation of the students and the parents to make that run. So let's get started.
So for the fireworks booth, we have 2 locations this year. So the top location is the location that we've been operating under in previous years. The new location is in the Smith parking lot, and as you can see, it's in the back. There's another tent in the Smith parking lot that's TNT, but Phantom has reassured us that Phantom Fireworks has better deals, so it shouldn't be an issue. But just so you know, there are 2 booths in that same parking lot. Go to the Phantom Fireworks one, not the TNT. We are under Phantom Fireworks. Did you want to
Yeah, we'll have Ben.
Before I say anything about this, I'm just curious, how many of you this is the first year you've got a kid in marching band? Mm-hmm.
Right on.
Last year was my first year, and I felt like I had no idea what was going on the whole time. So please be patient. I think a lot of adults had been in it for so long that they just kind of said, oh, this is just what we do, and they did it. And I was like, I don't even know what's happening. Please reach out to those that have obviously been here a little longer and ask them questions if you need to. Last year I took over this because the previous person's kids had graduated out, and so it was a learning curve. So I'll say a couple things. Phantom decided they're putting a second booth in regardless. They gave the marching band the option of having both. So instead of getting half of the funds lost, the decision was, let's try to do 2. And we don't know where that'll go. Maybe as bands grow, if they become 2 separate marching bands, there'll be some friendly competition of 2 different schools using, we don't know. But that's the reason there are 2 booths, which has doubled the expectation of what it takes to run a booth this year. So there's 13 total days. Each one has 4 shifts because at night it's nice to have 2 kids, 2 adults in there just because it gets busier. If it doesn't happen the first few days, it's fine. It's calm the first few days if it was like last year. If you can speak Spanish, that's typically when we have more people coming in the evenings who might not speak English but speak Spanish. So if it doesn't happen, we can still figure it out. Get our phones out, translate whatever we need. There's other information I'm not really going to go into detail on there, but it does include the reality that there will be 1 Tuesday shift, which for the youth, that means they'll miss normal practice. There are 2 Sundays. Phantom requires that it's open on Sundays, and this year they're requiring that it's open on the 5th, which is another Sunday. So those are more difficult shifts to fill. So if you feel like you can, the 4th and the 24th are also tricky. The parade on the 4th is at 9 a.m., which means typically whoever takes that 10 a.m. slot, at least they watch the beginning of the parade where the kids go by, and then they hurry over and get it set up without kids there yet. Usually a lot of the adults come in to help get it ready. It's a little trickier that time. So typically here's what happens to fireworks. Phantom brings a really big crate. It has all the fireworks in it. And every day we have to take them out, set them up, and then put them back. They used to have them sleep over. The high school or district, someone made the choice of that's not going to be acceptable. It's not safe to have our students or people possibly at risk of whatever. So we have to clean them up every day, which takes a lot of backs and legs. So we do ask sections to come in and help with that. Because there's 2, that does mean we're hoping that we can get a group of kids there almost every day. The students might be going. Now we get that sometimes kids may be gone somewhere, but their section is still showing up. So preferably there's a word from parents to kids like, you want to do marching band, you need to get over there frequently to help get the fireworks set up and help get them cleaned up. But those are the times we get set up and take down done. And it takes, depending on how many people, it might only take 15 minutes. If there's few people, it can take half an hour or so to set them up and take them down. also, I don't know where I'm gonna be, but I can't be at both. And by be at both, I'll just tell you what I did last year. I was not at the booth all the time. I was someone that could always call in case something happened. If there was a problem that someone couldn't get to a shift, I could get there and make sure there was at least an adult there. And we're hoping to get a second adult to help with that. Preferably someone who doesn't have a job in the middle of the day, because that's tricky. So also, school teachers, Ray, where you at in the summer? But if you have a stay-at-home job or something you can telecommute like to that spot, it's not super busy during the day shifts, but we need an adult there. So if you feel like you might be able to help with that piece, of just being the adult that gets there in the morning, make sure they're getting it all set up. Basically, I would go back between every change in shift, so I'd get there at 2 o'clock each day. I'd get back there at 6 o'clock just to make sure things were working okay, and then I'd go back at night. You have to drop money every day, except weekends. I think that was the basics. So if you feel comfortable talking with me, I believe my email was sent out somewhere. It's on the link. Did you all see the sign up Genius? Is anyone who has not seen that yet? Okay.
There's a QR code on another slide.
Okay.
So
At the bottom of that is my email. And you can email me if you have questions, if you feel like you'd like to help in certain ways. For those who do help, like the adult to run the second booth, that's your job for the year. You don't have to worry about all the stuff that shows up during the year, because you will have invested what we feel is an adequate amount of time. So I think I have one more, or you have one more, and then I'll talk on the next one, I think. I don't remember.
So with district permission, any shift you work will go towards your students' fees. I know in years past it's been you have to do 3 and then it starts counting. We're not doing that. We do have an expectation of 3. We just ask that you communicate if that's not possible. This is just an estimate, so it can change, which is why we're encouraging you to sell and tell everyone, because the more we sell, the more money we make. One adult shift is $45 towards that student's fee. One student shift is, $45. One student shift is $25 towards that student's fee. If you do 3 shifts, that's $212. That's almost a third of your child's fees. Just done, taken care of, right? So we had a lot of questions about that. This is our estimate. Hopefully that eases some minds. Sorry, they're doing a pageant or something.
It's Miss Wasatch.
Yeah, Miss Wasatch is happening right next to us.
Okay, and then like I said, this is the QR code for the sign-up form.
And just as a parent, to throw this out there, this is our big money maker of the year.
Yes.
This is the one to put the time and effort into, because this is the one that gives the most back to the program. It's really not that hard. It seems a little overwhelming. I think this is my 4th year. It's not that hard. You make the kids do all the work and you just sit there and then you use the tablet when it's time for somebody to pay.
Yep.
That's literally what I do. I make them haul the stuff. This is your thing. And I sit there in a chair and I go, nope, go talk to that person. And then you do the checkout on the POS system. That's all it is. So we really do encourage the kids to do most of the heavy lifting. But this is a big one. This is the one you want to put your time into.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I just have, what if they ask us about fireworks and you know nothing about fireworks?
So Phantom, they supply us with every firework that they give us. There's a QR code that will be placed next to it. It's a super easy cheat code for the kid to go and say, let's scan this and let's watch it together. And my experience in the past is students, there's never been a shift where there isn't a kid that doesn't love fireworks. That isn't gonna not spend the time when the booth is empty to go and watch all of them.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, what else?
honestly, like what Chelsea is saying, the students really, in the booth, they're the ones that are engaging with the customers, and they're the ones who are learning a lot of that. But they supply us with that, which is really convenient, because we don't have the time to shoot
Or
them all
you
off.
just make it up, other than there's like
This one was-
fountains or
Yeah.
aerials, and that's
This
what I was, I'm
one
like,
goes
this
up.
one goes up and goes boom, this one stays on the ground and goes boom.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty, they're all fireworks. They all have different names, like they change them up almost every year. It's like, I'll be
Yes.
like, where's that one from last year? I don't know, they probably rebranded and named
Yeah.
it. But it's really not that
Give
big
us
a deal.
information on which ones we can sell based on where people are, because that was one thing I heard a lot when I was at the firework booth for a different situation last
Sure.
year, is people were like, hey, I live in, well, where we live, like Big Farms, which ones
Yeah.
am I allowed to shoot off this year? And I remember the people at all the fireworks booths going,
So at the,
Yeah, Ben.
when the booths open, the fire marshal comes in to make sure it's set up correctly, and we have the correct maps.
Yep.
There will be maps that
Okay,
show what's
that'll help.
allowed
Yep.
where, and we don't know yet what it will be like this year.
But there should be printed out stuff so you can let them look and,
okay, I just don't.
And I, like I said, one of the booths, and I'll help with the other adults, so they're ready, like, I will get there at the beginning of each shift, just to make sure
Yeah.
everything's figured out.
And to tack on onto this thought, we're clearly gonna have a really dry summer. Just driving home yesterday, I saw the fire that was by the lake. So if by chance Heber decides that fireworks are banned in the town, we still have to run the fireworks booth. If we do not open on any day, Phantom charges us for not opening the booth. So even though we probably won't sell a whole lot, if we don't open, we'll end up paying for this fundraiser instead of getting paid for it. So we'll keep an eye on it. We're gonna hope that there's some other things. We're thinking of some things that we can do to supplement during that time if fireworks are banned in the city. But yeah, we'll have all the information as far as what is able to sell.
I
and-
don't,
and-
they usually only will decide whether there's no aerials or not.
Right.
It's not, usually you can do fountains, and my guess would be that if that's going to be the thing, they will probably send us more fountains.
Sure. I'm sure Phantom
And
also
those
wants
are
to make money.
usually, because they wanna make money,
Yeah.
so odds are, if that does happen, then we just sell the
Yep.
fountains,
Great
and they
point.
sell really well too.
Yep.
And
Great
Phantom
point.
does not charge us for stuff we don't sell.
That's
Yep.
true.
Get that.
Just for not open, that's the
Yep.
big one. So we gotta open.
I think this is almost it for fireworks, but just one more note. We are totally willing and able to help as much as we can, but there's only 2 of us. So this is really, we're asking parents and students to take this on. It's for your kids, it's for your program. We, however, are moving to Heber. I'm moving June 30th and July 1st, and Chris is moving on July 1st.
Aw.
Yep.
So we're very excited we get to be closer and it's not an hour drive every
Oh,
day.
Yes.
But that being said, we do ask that we have that time for ourselves
Yeah, those
to
2
move.
days.
But we're totally, like, if you have questions, please reach out. We want to help, so.
The last thing on there where it says rotating schedule, that's the setup and takedown. We'll get that sent out soon. Oh, I wanted to ask, actually real quick if I could, if anyone has. So what has been done in the past is different sections, like they had woodwinds or high brass or when different groups come in to do that each day. With 2 booths, we need woodwinds at 1 booth that morning and night probably, right? And then we need brass morning and night, and percussion and guard can take a day. And then the next day would be brass at 1 and percussion and guard, and then woodwinds can take a day off. But it's gonna be very frequent this year. Is that work the best? I don't like the idea of opening up like, well, whatever kids can show up to whichever booths, because that definitely ends up with days where no one shows up.
Yep.
Yes.
Well, I think something that would be helpful is if we had parents within that section, because if you can carpool and go around and get all the kids.
That's a good idea.
There, and then the parent, there's only 1 parent that needs to be there.
Yeah, because if I'm showing up for a morning shift and I can have it be my kid and like a group of kids that I'm assigned to help get there or whatever, because that's a lot of, you have 7 parents having to drive me back when they all work
Sure.
Right.
on different days.
We could base
I
it
don't-
off of whoever signed up for that
We can
morning.
figure that out amongst ourselves, just if we had phone numbers. I don't know, I guess maybe
Yeah.
some kids do.
Usually that gets put out
Yeah.
at some point.
And we can
the
also
parent numbers and
post
stuff.
what shifts are being covered by what students and what parents to all of you, so then you can intermingle as well with that. So you can see the list and say, oh, my kid and this kid, great, you know.
So I haven't looked at it recently to see,
There's compatible.
yeah, we'll make one. Yeah, we can make one. Yep.
I still think we may wanna consider assigning sections too, because it's not that many people assigned to each shift, so it's,
Right.
might only be one or two parents, one or
Right.
two kids for that opening shift.
And then maybe just coordinate carpools by sections or something.
Right.
Well, and a lot of times,
That
like,
might-
the
that might
section
be
leader
easy.
will go around and get the sections, cause a lot of these kids do drive and have vehicles, so.
Right. Yeah, most of the students.
Yeah, our children will not drive yet, so.
I would, I would just say the kids are really good, like the section leaders, they're
Yeah.
gonna be in charge, they're gonna know who's
Yep.
in their section, they're really the ones that are gonna.
Yeah, they're
do
gonna,
it.
they're gonna run
Usually
this.
it's
And if you just say, hey, talk to your section leader, if you need a ride, let them know, either they'll get you a ride or they'll
Yep.
have somebody
So
do it.
eventually they will
They're
have a
really
chat
good.
with those leaders and we will have like more, cause right now we're kind of in the dark of like, we're
Sure.
We'll get you caught up, don't you worry.
That is,
we're driving for another 18 months, thank you.
honestly, that's the really cool thing that we've loved about band is how close they come together.
Yeah.
Their sections really, I mean, they become a mini family and
Yeah.
they'll make sure that if they need help or a ride, someone will figure it out.
And have we thought about doing different, like instead of having a section on a whole day, having them on different days? My only thought again being if they're also in baseball and also in swim and also in French and also in cooking,
With-
it's hard to take a whole day.
With the, well, they wouldn't take the whole day. It's just to help with setup and take.
And then, yeah, at the
But
beginning and the end of the day.
And we don't expect the kid, like we get that sometimes the kid will not be available,
Yeah.
but the rest of the section should be there. We just need, that's why the section leader would be like,
So just this-
on top of like, hey, you haven't shown up at all the last 4 times, what's going on kind of thing.
Yeah.
But we have fewer students this year, fewer band members. And so we only have really 3 sections with enough, like, we only
So
have
it's kind of
woodwinds,
a whole-
brass,
makes sense.
and percussion guard. Like it's, there were 6 before, with so, I mean, each section had so many kids in it.
Yeah.
But we lost half the kids last year with seniors, right?
Yeah, we were,
How many kids are in the marching band?
We're looking at 42.
42. Yeah, last year we were at 70, so we lost, about 30 kids.
We lost 36
Yeah,
seniors.
36 seniors.
Literally
So-
all seniors.
So yeah, and with our school split, there's a lot of growth happening, so, but Amanda and I both are seeing the vision of what both of these programs will turn into, especially with middle school support. Those programs are big, and we don't see any reason why this program and the program at Deer Creek won't follow that trend of having growth. So hopefully by the time, this is your first year with it, by the time your kid is a senior, this will have changed. In the fact that we're not going to ask you to be there every night or every other night for your kids. So
So yeah, that'll be coming up, but if you want to email me with ideas or questions, let me know. Again, that's on the bottom of the sign up Genius, my email address. Thanks.
right on.
Real quick, Rachel's not here, but there's some other volunteer opportunities. We are especially looking for people to do first aid and water and food. This is when our competitions come up. If you have experience in first aid, even better. Like if you're a nurse, you're CPR certified, something. But we just need some people to fill in spots, give time where they can.
She also mentioned she really wants a secretary.
Okay, yes, secretary.
Can one of the parents who've been at the meets maybe explain, not like every single role, but just the general ideas so people have an idea?
Yeah.
Sure, yeah. Chelsea.
Anyone?
Oh my gosh, Chris.
Not just the highlighted ones, those are all open positions.
They're all.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, I can even speak to what a show day looks like for different parent roles. So, generally we'll have a prop crew. That looks like showing up to the competition with the students when we arrive, arranging and putting together props while our kids go and warm up. So we will not be available. So that role is showing up when we show up, putting it together, getting it on the field, getting it off the field, taking it apart, putting it back in the trailer.
And props can be some kind of just physical thing that's sitting there.
Are
Yep.
the chambers heading that again this year, do you know? Have we asked them?
I don't think so. We haven't asked them, I don't think.
Okay.
Are we making the props?
Yes. Yeah, so the props,
But they will be lighter than
they will be
last
much
year.
lighter than last year's. They will be
And
much
simpler.
lighter than last year's, yes, for sure. So that's what props would look like. If you're our food parent, we'll always post a schedule of what the day will look like and when mealtime is. we kind of trust that whoever is in charge of food will be able to time it out in their head of, okay, if food's at noon, I need to be there by 10 to get Crock-Pots plugged in or whatever.
And honestly, I hate to say it, food is kind of a big one.
It's
But
one
if
of
you're
the
somebody who's organized, once you kind of get the hang of it, I think our lady that's done it for the last, I think she did it for the last 4 years, kind of had figured out a pretty good system. I'm sure she would be willing to talk
She
to
is.
and help anybody who's wanting to step into that role, because she had it down
Can you explain what it is?
perfectly. So you're providing the meal and a snack usually for the kids while they're at the competition. It's
Yep.
usually, they're gonna be there, depending on how far we have to drive, they're going to be there very early in the morning. Their schedule is very full. And so there's usually a very finite amount of time that you're gonna be able to set up tables, let them have something to eat before they've got to rush off, or we've got to get back on the buses and get back because the bus
Yep.
drivers can only be there so long.
Yep.
So you have to buy the food, prep the food, and then, all the parents will help, and usually we had people who would sign up under her to help her out, getting everything set up and getting all the kids fed.
And she got reimbursed.
And there's a budget.
Oh, there's a budget,
And
yes,
there's a
this
budget
isn't,
for
yeah,
purchasing
there's,
food, and you will be reimbursed.
Yeah.
So if you are on that
yeah,
committee,
you're
save
not,
your receipts.
we're not paying for that.
Yeah, that is not your responsibility to just pay out of your pocket for food.
Is that part of it was?
If you're underwater, it's making sure that we've got large water jugs, that those are filled up before we get to the competition. So then during their warm-ups or when we get there or during food, the kids have water that they can drink. So it's primarily making sure that the 2 or 3 big water jugs that we have are filled up and ready.
Most competitions are on Saturdays.
Yep, almost every,
All
All
of
of
them
them.
except for state.
all of them
Yeah.
except for state,
Yes,
which is
it's
on a Friday.
It's on a Friday.
And what time commitment is it usually starting in the morning?
It's generally, it depends on the time slot. So usually we're performing anywhere between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. And the food portion of that is usually in the middle. So anywhere between leaving here at 8 a.m. to leaving here at 11 a.m. and getting back around 5 or 6.
What was the budget last year?
The food budget, I don't know what the food budget was last year. The food budget this year, I think that needs to be defined a little stronger. I know that we will have enough money to feed all of our kids at every competition. That I can guarantee you. That's for sure.
Like I said, the lady that did it last year is awesome. She really had it down.
Yep.
I mean, she had it all figured out, and I think for the majority of everything, she bought everything at Costco.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of talked to her because I did one of our fundraiser things, and she kind of told me, and I was like, cool, I'll just do what you said.
When it comes to fundraising, there are some things that, since there are fewer kids, you don't spend as much, but there are other things that's just a straight, it costs this much,
Still
regardless how
costs.
many
Yes.
kids there are.
Right.
And so that's
And
why
the
it's
competitions are
tricky
that
with
way.
the budget
Yeah, there's just a
at
straight
this
fee.
point. There's how much fireworks bring in and then other fundraising things, but.
Yeah, those are primarily the really important ones. So, like, if we don't have a parent, sorry Rachel, that cannot be a secretary for this year, that's one that, like, I'd rather we feed our kids than make sure we have a secretary. At some point, we'd love to have all these positions filled, but water, food, props, and a trailer driver are all non-negotiable. All of those things have to happen at every competition.
And I'm sorry, because I keep asking questions,
No,
and I want
please.
to be helpful, but I also run a business, I'm trying to really make
Of
sure I
course,
understand my
yeah,
commitment.
of course.
So, props, so I did props for the last 2 years for plays, for school. And it was 6 months of 8 hours a day in my garage at night building props.
Sure.
Tell me about props, because
Sure.
I oversee
So
it.
props this year are going to be a lot simpler building process than they have been in years prior. We're essentially getting, I can't remember the material exactly, but imagine just plexiglass screen printed with our designs, which are going to go onto, a few years ago we used these triangle bases that you can put 3 sides on. We'll use 2 sides of each triangle. So those frames are already built. The plexiglass is going to be screen printed. So really the assembly will be getting the plexiglass
Yeah.
or whatever that material is on the thing.
We're not making them.
You're not
Like
making
cutting
them.
plexiglass
We're not-
and hand painting it.
Nope, that is gonna be much simpler. Yeah, for sure, and a lot less heavy.
And the triangles are on wheels, you just have to push them and you,
Okay.
Yeah, so
they're a little cumbersome, but yeah. I think we used them for 2 years
I think so,
already,
yeah. So yeah, we're not gonna be all up late at night in our garage.
I overcommitted the last 3 years, and so I'm just checking.
For sure, yes. Cool, do we have any other questions about these kinds of things before we start getting into fees?
Ooh, I wanna sell
Please.
my, I want to recruit also. It's not on this,
These are just the ones that we don't have.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
these are the ones we don't have, but we have a really big one that we need a little bit of help on too, and it's our uniforms. So my name is Lila Bagarski, I'm Ellie's mom. She's in Frontline. This is our second year in marching band, so last year was like a whirlwind, like what just happened to us type moment with marching band, and it was the best. It's amazing. It's so much fun. But it does take a village, a large village, and everybody to help. So the ones that are like not on here, uniform, I know you helped a lot with uniforms last year too. So Beverly did all the uniforms like in years past, but she graduated out. I helped her last year and I kind of took over this year. If anybody else wants to help be a uniform parent, I would super appreciate the help. We've already done almost all of the measuring and everything for the kids. We've already got the ball rolling, so what I would need help with over this season is once we get all of the stuff that we've ordered in, putting it all together for each of the kids, because each section, each kid might have something a little bit different. So pulling out their sizes, getting them out, we're ordering new jackets. So we're gonna have to number them all and then probably renumber our bags. It's just kind of tasky stuff. And then like washing and ironing, maybe once or twice this season. We don't do it after like everything. And the kids aren't gonna wear the big wool heavy outfits for the parades, so we don't have to worry about that. For those who weren't here last year, that's like a whole situation, because they're just dripping with sweat.
So they really had to be washed out.
And you gotta load the trailers and everything for the parades. We're not doing that this year, so it's really just competition. So that's like coming here, helping me get all that stuff loaded onto the trailers, getting it there, making sure that after the competition, it all makes it back on the trailer. It's just a lot for even our 40 kids to kind of keep track of for one person. So anybody who's interested, I'm just gonna put my number back here.
Really early in the morning?
It depends on where the competition, if it's in Logan, then yes, yeah, then we're probably leaving at like 6 a.m. If it's at American Fork, probably not as early. The furthest competitions that we have are the Logan competition and St. George. Most everything else is located down in the valley.
Do you think Rachel would be upset if we put her phone number on there?
No, I think in fact she would love that if we did. I will put that out.
And it's really fun to go to all the competitions.
It really is.
I got it. Ready?
I've loved it.
You know what?
How do you do that with a big family? Do you bring all your kids?
A lot of people
For
do.
all day?
Hey, oh, you got it?
Bring
Eight
lots of snacks, bring umbrellas, stuff like that, but some people bring all their kids, some people,
7-3-9-2.
find somebody to take their kids. Wow.
That just worries me.
Now can you do it again in another color?
It's tough. It's tough.
Fine.
Throw that one away.
But honestly, if you sign up to help with stuff that's like before the comps and stuff, you can really go to the comp, watch them. It's literally like 5 minutes long. Have your kid at the end and leave. You don't have to stay the whole day and watch all the bands.
Although there were some really like.
It is fun to watch
last
them.
year that I would
There
sit
really
around
are,
and
and it's fun to watch them get better and improve as well as our own kids.
Do you guys do any signups where it's like, hey, Ford, you can own food and you can divide up the dates so that the days you have other kids doing other things like Saturdays and you can't be there, you don't have to commit to the whole season or not help at all in that.
I think
Yeah,
the
so
person in charge
these are people in charge, and then there's usually
And they
committees
say
underneath.
underneath
Yeah.
them, okay.
Yeah.
So we don't even have the person in charge. For some employees.
Okay.
Rachel is the,
Like, could you be in charge?
She's
She's
our-
our
our
she's
parent
she's
committee
our
head.
president.
Yep.
Okay, so
Chris.
these are,
Sorry, guys.
these are what we're looking at for fees. So, if your student is doing marching band, that includes parade band, pep band, and fall marching band, 9th through 12th graders, $650 is the fees. Pretty similar to last year, from my understanding. If your student is in 8th grade and they're only eligible for parades and pep band, then it's $100. I don't think we have anyone this year who's just doing that. But tell your friends if you know anyone who's an 8th grader. Fun fact, the district, along with splitting into 2 different high schools, is also getting an entirely brand new accounting system. So, we are not allowed to collect payment until after July 15th. That means the first payment is going to be due July 15th. And we'll show you that on the next slide. Payment plus a commitment form that we'll come out with pretty soon means that you are liable for the full amount. So we don't anticipate anyone dropping out. We really will hold them to a high standard. But in the case that your student gets drops out, or heaven forbid they get kicked out, you are still liable for the full amount. We are relying on 40 kids to pay $650 to pay for their fees. Especially things that we're already starting to order, we're a little bit in debt.
Yeah, to break down on what your fees are going towards. They're going towards uniform purchase, and to speak on that even more, we are purchasing uniform tops this year. They're gray wool. They look very similar to the Wasatch, like ones that you've seen in parades before. The goal with these uniforms is to reuse these for the coming years. And then doing small fun designs like a sash or different things to represent the show theme, but without ordering new uniform tops every year. That gets rather expensive. And then eventually we will get to a point where this marching band and program has grown so much that Wasatch and Deer Creek will split. At that point, the uniforms that we are purchasing now will go with Deer Creek, and then Wasatch will continue to use the uniforms that we already own. So that will keep our uniform costs down a lot, because then we're only buying new guard uniforms and sashes or other accessories for the program. And maybe, different plume, whatever. But that will save us a lot in the long term, while also giving the program identity. I think that there's something to be said about having a uniform that your older sibling or someone else wore, to then get to put that on and say, now I'm a part of this program. There's history to this. And that's what we want to bring to this program, is that sense of culture with everything that we do, including that. So uniforms is part of,
They volunteered you to be in charge of food, water.
Food, water, vice president, secretary.
So uniform cost is one thing your fees are going towards. Another thing that goes, that your fees are paying for, is to supplement the staff pay. It's not just Amanda and I that are teaching this marching band. We'll have a color guard director, we'll have someone with percussion, hopefully we'll have someone over woodwind and high brass. It takes a team to teach the entire thing as well. And those people deserve to have their time paid for. So that's a part of what will go towards competition entries. Every competition that we enter has a competition entry fee that we have to pay, and that's anywhere from $200 to $500, depending on if it's local or state. So we have to pay for that, and that's one of those fees that, like, if we had a band of 5 kids, it's still that much money. If you got a band of 150, it's still that. So those are things that we're paying for. Reimbursing gas for trailer driving, food, part of that goes into the food budget. Those are all things that your fees are going towards. So hopefully in years to come with fundraising and all of that, we can readjust what the costs are, but it's a lot to run a marching band of any size, especially when we want to continue the standard of excellence that the program has had in years prior. We want to make sure that we're hiring people who are qualified and know what they're doing and aren't just people that we're desperate to have. So that's what our fees are going to be looking like. And now we can talk on our schedule.
So 250 will be due on July 15th to the Wasatch cashier. We'll just operate through them until we split. We have a district fund for marching band. That means when you're a student or if you go in person to pay, you say this is for marching band, not just band, marching band, because they're completely different funds. And then August 5th, $200 more, and then August 26th, the last $200. Hopefully somewhere in here, we'll get our money from fireworks, and you won't have to pay one of these $200. They'll just be supplemented.
We have not reached out about the mattress sale yet. Another fundraiser that we are doing this year, we did it last year, and I think 2 years prior to that, is the clothing drive, like the soft goods clothing drive. I think that's going to line up during the time that we are having the fireworks stands open. So I think we're going to do drop-off points for the community at large that they can come and drop off at the fireworks booths. But that's a pretty fun fundraiser. It's really easy. In years past, we end up getting $5,000 to $6,000 for the program for that. And it basically means we have to have 1,500 30-gallon bags of clothes or soft goods, so curtains, towels, whatever. They accept all of those. Then if we get that number, they'll send us a semi. We'll load up the semi, and then our hands are washed. If we don't get 1,500 bags, then that means we have to load up these trailers out here, and then we've got to find someone to drive it and take it down to Sabres. So that's one fundraiser that's coming. I'm working with them to finalize the details of the start date and stuff. But mattress is something that we can look at. That's one that we've done in years prior as well.
And then we also have hometown halftime.
Yep, and hometown halftime. Yeah, the fundraisers that Amanda and I believe in are the ones that benefit the entire program. So chocolate bars, or someone approached us about selling 15-liter jugs of like snow cone flavoring. And we look at these and we know that some of your kids are probably really big go-getters and want to do the thing. From my experience, most of the time the kids are like, I sell to my family, who else do I sell to? Especially in our community, which is a little smaller. So it's like, you go to your neighbor and they're like, yeah, 3 band kids already talked to me. So we try and do things that are like, it benefits everybody and we all get our hands in, rather than relying on just a few kids to sell a whole lot of stuff. Because who stores the stuff? How do we get them the stuff? There's too many things to consider for, honestly, not a lot of money. They told us for the snow cones, like, yeah, if each kid sold 10, 15-liter things of syrup, they'd get like $100. And it's like, well, I don't know anyone that even wants 15 liters just for their family, let alone selling, 14 more of them.
When we
So-
had a corporate donation dial-a-thon, we did that in 6th grade at Soldier Hollow, where like 15 kids got together with parents and snacks, and they had a script, and they called corporations in their town for sponsorships, and they raised like 22 grand.
I think that's genius
Yeah.
and not something we've gotten corporate sponsors before. I don't know if we went that hard on it, but I think that is, especially if we get a person over fundraiser that is the head of that committee, that's something we totally should look at.
And there is some, right, the fundraiser person was not on that list previously, right?
No, they're not.
So if Rachel has some work with it, usually someone can help.
Yeah,
Because I do feel like that is an area that has been untapped in the valley,
sure.
is some of these, and you have to get to them fast, because a lot of the bigger ones, they have X amount that they're allowed to give, and a lot of them already have, they're already like, oh, well, we've been doing the basketball team, the football team, the wrestling, whatever. And I do think that there's some areas where we could be reaching out.
And it's
Yeah.
super good for the kids to learn to pick up a phone and ask.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and some things that like in years past with our trailer, we weren't allowed to put our sponsors on the trailer. We now own this trailer. This trailer now belongs to the band, which means we get to do whatever we want with it. And that includes putting sponsors on our trailer if that's a thing that is important to them, which I know for a lot of businesses that is. So that's one thing that we can offer them, as well as I know that there's in our main hallway here, a spot for corporate sponsors to go up there. They usually go in our t-shirts, our show shirts. They usually go on all of our programs for concerts and things like that. So we try and make it worth it to at least give us some money, please.
Somebody should
Please.
hit up Relight because Albion Soccer just took over the HVU club here in town, and they can no longer be a corporate sponsor.
Okay,
So that's 400 plus kids. So
remind me the name.
Relight, they're here in town.
Does anybody know those people?
I could try, I know them.
Do you know them?
Oh,
I say
I
somebody probably does.
I already work with the guy who's like in charge of the fundraising, and he was asking, he said the schools haven't reached out for a couple years, and they're like, why is no one reaching out? So he started asking, and I was like, oh yeah, they definitely need some money.
Also,
That-
all the insurance carriers, all the BUCAs, Blue Cross, United, Cigna, Aetna, Select Health.
I think we found your niche.
It's too big of a commitment. I can take a piece, but I don't have time to.
Well, no, what you do is you take it and then you delegate.
Yeah.
That's true. You're just telling people.
Can you imagine being the parent and show
Man,
up?
that's what I love about this community, though. It's like, do we know the person? And then the whole room is like, yeah, we know these people. That's
There's
awesome.
always somebody that
There's
does.
always someone who knows people.
It's also a great way, so like my husband owns a small business here in town.
Right.
So for him, it's great. It's a way for him to be able to get it, tax deductible, and he
Right.
can donate.
Yep.
So he's done that for the last few years. So
Yeah.
if you have a small business, that's a great way to donate
Right.
and,
Yeah.
and help out
Pretty
there.
untapped for a lot of schools here.
Yeah, that's something we should totally tap into as corporate sponsors.
Mhm.
I think that'd be awesome. From my experience here, there's never been a community, like a place that I went into or a adult that I talked to that didn't want to support this program. So people here want to help us. So yes, let's reach out to the people and let them know that we're here and we have our wallets open.
This is on the band app, and your children should know, but this is just a look at the rest of the summer. This week we have percussion camp, June 10th through the 12th. We are not having rehearsal next week. Please do not drop with your child, there will be no one here. That is because the student leaders will be going to a leadership camp, and they should already know about that, and if you don't know about that, surprise. We'll continue to have Tuesday rehearsals 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. until just a little bit into August. The drumline has been asked to perform, and we'll talk about that in a second, on July 3rd for part of the Red, White, and Blue Festival. And then, of course, we have the parade on July 4th. And then Deer Creek has an open house on July 29th. I have very limited details about that, but some of the students, especially the ones who will be going to Deer Creek from this band, will be playing for that. And we're excited about that. We don't have any details other than the date. August 1st is the Fair Days Parade. Information forthcoming. August 4th is the last regular Tuesday rehearsal, and then August 5th, 6th, and 8th are fundamentals camp from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. And then August 10th through 14th is show camp, 12 to 8 p.m. But also August 14th is Deer Creek's first football game. So students who are at Deer Creek will be pulled from this band and playing in the pep band. If you know alumni, we'd love to have alumni play as well. Book it up. This is a big deal. Brand new high school first football game of the season. So get excited. Hopefully the kids will be excited. So that's the rest of the summer.
Really quick, are you doing 2 separate pep bands for the
Yes.
2
Yes.
separate football teams? Okay.
Yes, yep, there will be the
Yes.
Wasatch Pep Band and the Deer Creek Pep Band. Yep.
So the kids in the show camp that on the 14th that are at Wasatch won't go over to the football game, is that right?
Correct.
Correct, yep. They'll stay here with me.
Yeah.
We'll keep rehearsing.
So this is the Red, White, and Blue Festival information. Like I said, the drumline has been asked to play on July 3rd from 7:40 to 7:50. Short amount of time, but we're asking that they get there around 7:15 so that we can set up, get them ready. And they're one of the opening acts for the Toby Keith Tribute Band. The city's really excited. The city's really excited for this band. And so it's a really cool opportunity. It's only 10 minutes of playing, but it's like a lot of exposure. It's going to be great. There's also going to be a drone show after the band. So if you have to drop your kid off there anyways, might as well stay for a drone show. It's pretty cool. That is in the Main Street Park. I will do a walkthrough next week with the city and they'll show me exactly where it is. And then I'll send out a map or at least clarify where we're meeting for that. Then the full band is marching in the parade on July 4th, the next morning. The parade starts at 9 a.m. We'll probably meet around 8:15 at Veterans Memorial Park. And I have a map that I'll show you right now. They have asked that we come in, so this is Veterans Memorial Park, this whole area by the railroad. They have asked that we come in from the south. So if you can somehow make your way, long way around, and go from 650 south up 600 west, and find us in here, great. Because over there, that's where the parade is. And that's where the busiest traffic you will ever see.
This is the one where you'll want to get sections together and things and have parents carpool and drop
Yeah.
the kids so they're not trying to figure out how to get their way through with their whole like 6 months of driving skills and and then find somewhere to park. So this is a good one for let's load up the minivan with as many kids and instruments as we can and drop off so that moms or dads can just then hightail it out of there.
Yeah, and then as far as parking, the city told us parking on the other side of Main Street by the police department, all those neighborhoods, that's where parking's gonna be. So drop them off and then go park. Please don't make your kids walk all the way over here. The parade will end somewhere in this yellow, I think that's 500 or 600? 500, yeah.
We don't live here yet.
Sorry. They were very unclear on exactly where it's gonna end. All I know is it's somewhere on this yellow. So.
You know how long it's gonna be there?
The parade?
It's a mile. In my experience, it usually takes about half an hour from step off to the end of the parade. The entire experience, getting there from 8:15, I would expect 8:15 to 10:30, 11 is around that expectation that they'll be there. But the parade route itself is pretty short. A mile is pretty easy.
What
Yes.
are you gonna have them wear? So they're not gonna wear the full get up?
Yeah, so Wasatch students will wear a Wasatch polo similar to mine. Deer Creek students will wear a Deer Creek polo. And then black shorts, black socks, black shoes. If they already have marching shoes, they can wear those. If they don't have marching shoes yet, all black shoes. Even if that means, there's a little bit of white, just get some like electrical tape.
Black electrical
Black
tape.
electrical tape, and that works great.
Works great.
But black socks, black socks, black socks. They gotta wear black socks.
Buying marching shoes, or is that something that comes with uniform?
So, marching, that will be a part of the uniform. That'll be a part of the fees.
Okay.
So that's not a individual cost.
So don't go buy them.
Don't go buy them, yes, because we have them sized. That goes with your fees. So if they haven't been ordered yet, or we don't have a size that we can give them black shoes.
Okay, and I'm sorry, because I'm sick of my voice too, but it's also new.
Keep asking.
Yeah,
Yes,
please.
go for it.
Yeah,
When I
please.
ask my kid, what instrument can I buy so you can practice at home? He says I don't know what I'm playing yet. So when I see things like
Sure.
camps and drumline, I don't even know if he's
Yeah.
in it.
So if you are that's a great question.
So I'm like, sure, we'll maybe be there if he plays in that. I don't know what that is.
So this is a very percussion specific question, which I can speak to. The
Okay.
percussionists right now, due to our numbers and due to me being I don't have a percussion staff here full time yet. I've been keeping all of the students on the drum line so I can have all of them in one place and see them.
Okay.
Tomorrow at the percussion camp, tomorrow and the rest of the week will be when that's defined. For the year.
Okay.
Or for the marching band season. So I've opened it up to any percussion student is welcome to be in the parade. Even if they're going to be in front ensemble and not marching, they're welcome to march in the parade with us on a drum. But we will define the roles, I'm hoping by end of tomorrow. So hopefully Karen will know I'm on snare drum or bass
And
drum
then we
or
go buy
whatever.
it, and then he can practice at home, and then we know
Right.
about drumline.
Well, and for percussion, honestly, you're gonna have a hard time. We can talk later about some recommendations for that. But percussionists, really the expectation is that you have a drum pad and sticks at home. Other than that, we have the harder job because no one is gonna go buy a marimba
No. So I have 2 sons in percussion.
Oh,
We can talk.
and earplugs. Noah is gesturing to buy earplugs.
Sorry, yes, Noah's earplugs are not only for the percussionist, but for our entire band. I got tinnitus when I was 18 because I grew up working in a bowling alley and being a drummer. So like that already ruined my ears. I use earplugs that are called ear racers. They're $40. You can get them on Amazon or at a local music store. What I love about musicians' earplugs is if your student wears them, they'll find that they can actually hear the music without having everything be dampened. They're attenuated, so any decibel that is above a certain frequency, it cuts that out while keeping all of the safe frequencies able to filter through. They're honestly magic. I don't know how it works because the filter is just a little piece of plastic, but it works and it will save their ears. So everyone should be getting earplugs. If you can't afford the musicians' earplugs, foam earplugs work just fine. But they should be having them, especially when we're doing stuff inside. No one wants to be going deaf this early or have a trumpet screaming in their ear right behind them, which happens. Our trumpets are very eager this year, so.
Yeah.
So for parades, you said you were doing shorts, right?
Correct.
So is there a specific height of socks, or is it just any black socks?
Ankle?
Ankle,
Ankle.
yeah.
I'm just saying, I have to clarify with you, or my
I'm
13-year-old will have months.
Yes.
So that's why
I'm glad that you're.
Save them from your kids.
Yeah,
roll it
exactly.
down.
When we get into like fall marching band, they'll need to be taller.
Yeah.
But
Also for shoes, I have sent home shoes with almost every single one of your students already, except for maybe 6 that we have to order the sizes we don't need. So if you are unsure if your student brought home shoes, ask them. And I have a list, so you can always text me, and I'll tell you, I sent the shoes home.
okay. This is our fall schedule. I realized I didn't put hometown halftime. Wow, hometown
We probably don't have
halftime
a date
on
for that
here
would be
yet.
my guess.
It's tentatively September 28th. Just keep that in mind. After school rehearsals, we'll talk about that in a second. They're going to be Tuesday, Thursday, 3 to 7. The big football game. So I mentioned August 14th. That's a big football game. That's mostly for Deer Creek. The big football game is September 4th when Deer Creek plays Wasatch at Deer Creek. The marching band will be performing halftime. We've already talked to our admin about it. This is a big deal, okay? So that includes that they'll be playing pep band, and then they'll play halftime, and then they'll continue playing pep band to the end. It's a pretty big football game, but you don't want to miss it because it's pretty big. I've said that 8 times. Okay. Then the next day we have the Swiss Days Parade. Then 2 weeks from that day, we have our first marching competition in Payson, and then the next one in Harriman, and then the next one in Logan, the next one in Riverton. We have a break for fall break, and then we have competition in AS, competition in Kaysville, and then our big overnight trip competition, November 5th through 7th. That's the one that we talked about. It's on a Friday. So we'll pull kids out of class, we'll drive them down, we'll stay the night, see the other bands. It's great. It's a culmination of everything they've worked hard for. So
are they
we're excited.
competing as in a bigger school? Like bigger level?
So the competitions, there's different classifications, 3A, 4A, 5A, 6A. We are, even though our schools are each 4A, we'll be as a combined band in 5A, Scholastic. It gets even crazier. There's 3A through 6A, and then they split it up by band. That's by school size, and then they split it up by band size. So we will be competing against other schools of a similar band size and a similar school size to us. So yeah, there's some parity there. Some.
Yeah. But for everything else, like football games, for our large ensemble festivals, will be 4A.
Yep.
And that's just good to know if you do other sports. 4A for both schools.
And that's not a typo, that is Halloween.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it is Halloween. Yeah,
Yeah.
they keep doing it. They keep doing it. But yes, it
But
is
it'll
Halloween.
get done and have kids back. Where was it at, Davis?
days.
Yeah, and because we're 5A, we're usually like the first or second section to go on. So,
We'll hopefully be back.
yeah, that will not be one of the days that we keep the kids all day to watch all of the bands.
Yeah.
We'll let them go home and do Halloween.
So originally at the step-off meeting, we were under the impression that marching band would not be a class because we split. And then our admin said, no, it's actually going to be a class, and we're gonna bus the kids over to whatever
Yep.
location it is gonna be at for the week. We will clarify before school starts which weeks we're at Wasatch, which weeks we're at Deer Creek, and it'll stay that way for the whole week. So speaking of, we're still gonna have after-school rehearsals Tuesday, Thursdays. But if marching band class lands on a Tuesday, Thursday, because it's block schedule, then rehearsal will only be 2 hours, it'll be 3 to 5. We'd rather have it in place and then let kids go home early than try and scramble and create another rehearsal. If it does not land on a Tuesday, Thursday, if class is Monday, Wednesday, Friday, then we'll have rehearsal 3 to 7. And that'll hopefully be on a field, preferably the football field, and we'll have a lot of time, field time.
And this will all be reflected in the band calendar because I'm sure you'll go to your kid and say, are you at 7 or 5 today? And they're like, I don't know if it's a gold or black day. And so we'll have this posted on our calendar so you can reference that. But it'll basically be an every other week thing because of the block schedule.
Yeah.
Will you be able to put this PowerPoint up on like the band app or something? I know you've got
Absolutely.
the
Yeah.
YouTube, but to not have to scroll through to see each one of these.
Yes, absolutely we will.
Yeah.
For sure.
So if it's not on Tuesday, Thursday, it is Monday, Wednesday, Friday, right?
For
Yeah,
marching band
for
class.
Class.
So during the school day.
Right.
So these are after school rehearsals.
Right.
So if the class, because I'll show you in a second, the class is gonna be the last class of the day.
Okay, I wondered.
It'll feed into rehearsal, then we'll just end at 5. But if it's not class that day, then we're gonna go 3 to 7.
Yep.
And that should be enough time for kids to carpool over to wherever it is that week.
So you're doing it 5 days a week on those weeks, because you're also having a class, Monday, Wednesday, Friday?
Correct, yeah. So they'd have marching band class during the day and then normal rehearsal, after school rehearsal Tuesday and Thursday. Yep. Yes.
Is there a QR to like be invited to the band app?
Did we get one on here? If not,
No.
we'll put one up.
Yeah, we'll put one
Yes,
up.
before the meeting is done, for sure. Of course.
Is there a way I'm missing on the band app to download, like, hey, I'm in percussion, I can download the calendar to my calendar, or you need to go
Not
through
yet.
every day, read everything in the calendar?
Not yet. So the band app is new to the program and new to me.
Okay.
So there's still honestly a lot of things to figure out with it. So we're trying to figure out what the right move is as far as how you can get the information or how you can even contact us. In years prior, we used Slack, and it was really easy for parents or students to get in contact with directors through Slack. The school won't let us use Slack anymore, so now we're on band. And the permissions there are quite complicated on who can message. So what we've defaulted to is email us.
Okay.
Email us is the best way to get in contact with us because band, there are some parents who have been able to message me through band, like yourself, and then some other parents who are like, we don't have the option to send you a message. So we're defaulting to email as the best way to get in contact with us.
You should write your emails up there.
Yes, we will. Yes.
The dates that you have put on the band app, there's a thing under it that says, put it on your calendar.
Oh,
Oh,
Really?
cool.
right.
For like all of them, like you can pick them, just one at a time? Okay, that's okay, I was,
But it
before I did that, I was
puts it
trying to
on the
find
calendar
this.
on the app, and it has a button under it that says, put it on my own calendar.
Okay, cool.
Well, and eventually, each of the schools' band's websites will be up and accurate, which will, I know at least for Wasatch, we'll have a Google Calendar with all of these dates as well on it, so that should be really easy to transfer. But we're just trying to keep all of the locations, just keep referring to the band app before everything else. That will be our primary source with all the information.
Don't silence your notifications. I promise you, you want to be able to see all those notifications.
Yes. Yeah. Email and band is our primary focus for
Okay, that being said, we're getting close to the end, I promise. We are seeing low numbers in our registration we see 40 kids show up for camp every week, but then we have like 3 kids signed up for class. So please ensure that your kids are signed up for band, especially marching band class, because they need to be enrolled.
I don't think any of the counselors, like the incoming students, they didn't know.
Yeah, just so
Right.
you guys know, they just
Yeah,
want
no,
us to
Right.
too.
Yep.
we just found out too. This is
And then when we went back,
Yeah.
they were like, we're not doing it anymore, you have to
Yeah,
call us at the
it's
next
been-
registration window. So that's
yeah.
probably why.
Wonderful.
yeah.
Yeah, we apologize for that confusion,
It's okay. You
but
guys are
yeah,
going
that's.
I think there was something about there being a requirement to be in another band too. Is that still the case?
I mean, that's up to, generally, yes.
When they canceled the marching band class, they said, but to be in marching band, you have to sign up for another music class, and they made us cancel the other electives.
Oh.
So you get the room to put them in that elective, so do you know if you still have to be in 2?
So it depends on the school. My school, I have combined, normally there's a semester long class, second semester, that basically turns from marching band into concert band, or symphonic band, I should say. My school, we don't have the numbers, so we're just doing a year-long symphonic band. If your kids have room and want to be in it first semester, great. If not, they will need to be in symphonic band second semester. We're gonna want them to come from marching band into symphonic band, keep their instrument, play all year long. It's a year-long commitment. Marching band's not a year-long commitment, but band is. I also have low numbers in jazz band if you have kids interested in jazz band or know anyone interested in jazz band.
So that's before school.
No, mine's during the day, so that's why it's, yeah, it's confusing because our schedules are slightly different, except for the fact that we will have marching band lined up. Both of our admin have lined up marching band, kids will be bused, it'll work out, that way.
So, yeah, that's on the next
Yeah.
slide. For Wasatch, we are early morning jazz band still.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
And then, like I said, this marching band class lines up, and then he'll have a concert band first semester. Well, it'll be all year round, and then it'll transition.
So I think for the requirement of having a student enrolled in both marching band and a regular like band class, that is the preference, because both of our philosophy is that in-school sit-down bands is why we're here to be teachers, to do music education in school. Marching band is a supplement to our program. So, with our numbers, we would love to have them enrolled in both. If that is the thing that like makes it so your kid can't do marching band, then okay, have them sign up for marching band, and we can talk about in second semester getting them enrolled in another band class. We're not in a position to turn anyone away because they can't dedicate 2 or even 3, like we want more people in this. We can't turn kids away because of that. So we will communicate that with our counselors, that that's our expectation, that if they need other classes, that they can take those while still being enrolled in marching band.
So marching band only has support semester?
Correct. Yep.
This video will work.
Oh yeah.
I wanted to show you what your kids have been working on. I don't know
I don't
if
think there's any sound.
It won't play through there.
Yeah, it won't play through there.
Well, you can watch them. We've already had them dedicate so much time, and we're really grateful. Thank you for coming today. Hopefully we answered questions. We'll stick around for a few more minutes to answer any more questions. We're really excited, and yeah, I don't know what else to
Yeah,
say.
this program is going to see a lot of growth. The students already are marching both of our parade tunes a month out before the parade. And they're sounding great. Like, there's a lot of really nice things happening. We can tell that they're practicing at home. If they're not, come and tell me, and then we'll make sure they're practicing at home. But we can tell things are happening at home because when they show up here, things are happening here. So yeah, we're both so excited to be here, leading these programs and making magic happen for our kids. We can tell how much they love this. So we want to make sure they keep loving it and keep providing